Video from my November 13th, 2016 dive to the UB88 and the Moody. The UB88 sits in about 190 feet of water, and this was the wreck that I got my trimix certification for. The UB88 was taken from the Germans after World War I and was paraded up and down both coasts in an effort to sell war bonds. Finally, it was sunk a few miles off of San Pedro. Here you see the profile for my dive on the UB88. It was about a 20-minute bottom time with a 72-minute total run time. The actual depth of the wreck to the sand is right about 190 to 191 feet. It's a fairly flat profile dive because it's U-boat, so it's not very tall. This is the first thing that I saw when I hit the bottom, and I was absolutely ecstatic. The visibility was fantastic. There was very little current. Here you can see with my arm in the sand, it was 188 foot. The wreck is starting to deteriorate as it's been down there for almost 100 years. There's an outer hull that's started to perforate and allow you to see the inner hull. We started back by the stern and then worked our way up around the bow and then around back, basically doing one full loop. Here you can see the gap between the inner and the outer hull. As with any wreck, it's covered in life, and this is out in the middle of the sand, so it's an oasis. Here's the tower. I've also got a shot from the other side as well. We worked our way around the wreck clockwise, making stops as we went. This isn't my best camera angle video footage, as I was just so excited to be here. Here I'm making my way around to the bow, and those are torpedo tubes. And under the torpedo tubes I spotted a pair of mated wolf eels. I love wolf eels, and I haven't seen very many this season, so I was extremely excited to finally see not only one but two. Here's a closer shot of the torpedo tubes, which are all the way at the very, very front of the boat. Here's sort of the debris that's fallen down in front of the torpedo tubes, and I slowly will make my way around the bow of the boat. The wreck has started to crumble, as it's been down there for nearly 100 years, but it's still in relatively good shape. Whole sections haven't collapsed as they have on the Moody or the Hogan or other such wrecks. It's still a really beautiful sight to see. Here's the tower from the other side, working my way towards the stern. This is the inside of the U-boat through a perforation that's gone through both of the hulls. They stripped it before they sank it. Once you approach the rear of the boat, you can see that there's a big pile of ghost nets. I know the Los Angeles GUE guys have been working on removing these, and they've done a great job, but more work remains to be done. Here's a shot from the bottom looking up at the ghost nets. It's kind of pretty, I think. And here's a few of my dive buddies doing the basically one and only swim through, which is in the stern between the ghost nets on the right side and the rest of the boat on the left. This is our shot line that was a concrete pail. And here's everybody doing deco with a 20-minute bottom time and a 72-minute run time. Deco wasn't bad, but it was not nothing. Here's my profile from the Moody portion of the dive. This time we were at the stern of the boat. My last Moody dive was at the bow. It's actually, the Moody is split in half because it was the subject of a movie, and in the movie it was quite literally blown up. There's a line that connects the two halves, so if you're on a scooter you can actually see both sides of the boat. We basically did 2 laps around this part, because the Moody, as you can see, is right about 140 feet. So your decompression obligation isn't nearly as bad as with the U-boat. Unfortunately, here too, there are ghost nets. Again, I'm aware of cleanup efforts, and people have made fantastic strides, but unfortunately more work is to be done. Here's the rudder on the stern of the boat, just to show that I am in fact in the back. I thought that was kind of cool, just to differentiate from my last dive. And again, it's a wreck, so it's an oasis. There's Kevin with his new video light setup. Tons of blacksmith and lingcod. Here's a mating pair of McFarlandy nudibranchs. Remember, they're hermaphrodites. All in all, this was really a fun set of dives. I was extremely fortunate to get to go. The reason I got my trimix cert was for the U-boat. Next time, maybe I won't be quite as excited, and I'll be able to focus more on getting great shots.